Good morning. It will be a completely different board of directors, even if the building behind me is the same one that hosted yesterday Autostrade per l'Italia board meeting. That is because Atlantia has many important shareholders ranging from HSBC to BlackRock to the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Singapore. And they want to hear from the management what is the cleanup strategy of Atlantia after the Genoa bridge collapse. Now, as you were saying from studio, Prime Minister Conte has another ace up his sleeve. He's contemplating using the state lender Cassa Depositi e Prestiti to take over Autostrade per l'Italia, or at least to acquire a majority stake in the company. Now, Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, or CDP, has 420 billion under management and has the financial capability to pull off such a move. It will make also sense because the sum that CDP will use wouldn't count as public debt, and the Ministry of Infrastructure, by taking over this company, wouldn't be forced to hire some 4,000 people. Now, the Ministry of Finance, Giovanni Tria, has ruled out such an option, but we know that within the Conte's cabinet, Tria does not have that much power. Atlantia, whatever the outcome, is convinced that it either will receive a lot of money or it will retain the concession. Now, what is the equity value of Autostrade per l'Italia in case of a takeover? According to the Italian investment bank Mediobanca, a very important investment bank which advised Atlantia in its merger with the Spanish operator ACS, the equity value of Autostrade per l'Italia is around 14.8 billion. This is a sum lower than the penalty clause, around 19 billion. The book value of Autostrade per l'Italia in Atlantia balance sheet is even lower, is around 13 billion, 12.8 billion. Hence, that move would allow the government to use less money. But as I was saying before, Atlantia is convinced that it can prove its innocence, the innocence of Autostrade per l'Italia, and it will retain the concession or at least receive a lot of money. And the management, the CEO Giovanni Castellucci, the president Fabio Cerchiai, will try to convey this message to the other board members today. The board meeting will start within 2 hours at 11 a.m. local time, and we will give you more update as soon as the management show up. Back to you.
Just quickly, what about the worst case scenario that Atlantia does not retain the concession and there's no residual payment, so effectively it loses on both fronts? What's the likelihood of that happening?
It's highly unlikely. First of all, there are other concessions to other highways in the northeastern part of Italy that are under management from other companies. So all the concessions should be revised. Secondly, the contract binding the Italian state and Autostrade per l'Italia is secret, but has been defined by sources very close to Autostrade per l'Italia as rock solid. And the northern party, one of the two allies forming the coalition with the Five-Star Movement, does not want to revoke the concession. Yeah, Matteo Salvini, the most prominent minister and a minister from the Northern Party, said that he's in favor of revoking the concession, but his right-hand man, Giancarlo Giorgetti, a sort of shadow prime minister, said very clearly yesterday on Corriere della Sera that he does not want to consider such an option. So they will come to an arrangement. The question is whether Atlantia will quadruple the 500 million compensation fund and elevating it to 2 billion, as Prime Minister Conte asked publicly yesterday. If they do so, the probabilities of revoking the concessions will be even lower. So, all in all, I do not expect, and people here do not expect, that the concession will be revoked, because this in turn could spark off a massive sell-off on the Italian public debt. Lastly, let's not forget the impact on the share, because the company has already endured a 5.5 market cap loss, and the CONSOB, it's like the equivalent of the Security and Exchange Commission, has already warned Palazzo Chigi, the government, not to press ahead with their plans to strip Autostrade per l'Italia of its concession, thereby provoking a massive sell-off on the Atlantia shares.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.